2-week residencies, mainly for artists who are working, artists who are caretakers. It's more, the residency is more like a incubation, experimental seed planting. We don't have any requirements for productivity or productions or projects. We really want it to be a restful place for artists. Being artists ourselves, it gets really old always having to hustle and produce, and just, we need time to think and gestate and experiment, and that's what this residency is for. So,
where's the name come from?
Because the land is so verdant, and it's as you walk around out there, you'll see, we'll take a tour, and it's just so amazing, and so verdant and green and lush, and it just, and I call it a project because it's something that it's always changing and evolving. Like Indy said, we have workshops, we have residencies, we just did a really big land art exhibit, and we're open to collaborating with other artists or organizations. So I don't ever want to say it's just one thing. It's an ongoing and ever-changing project. So yeah, it's been really wonderful. We have about 20 artists a year who come out. It's seasonal residency. So about April through October is when we have residents come. And they can stay in the tent on site, but we also have an option for artists who are like local and want to just go home every night. So they could come here during the day, all day and night, and just go back home. So we have like a local option or a stay on site option.
And does one become a member and get in the mailing list and find out about events and be able to use that, that day pass sort of experience?
Yeah, it's still, so we have like an application process that we usually do in like either October or November. So people apply. And the one thing about the residency is the artists have to be really, a big part of our mission is stewarding the environment, and so environmental stewardship and curiosity and nature. So artists have to have a strong connection and reverence for nature and express that through their work, their process, their materials, in some way show us their connection to nature. So it's not for all artists, but artists who do have that connection. And also we're open to artists who are looking to explore that connection more. So we have like a lot of fiber artists. We have a dye garden. People can use the flowers and plants from the dye garden to make dyes and inks. We have people who've made, use like the rocks in the creek to make pigments. We had an artist out here that made art with algae. But just like all different kinds of connections to the environment and nature.
How about clay?
You know what? The whole creek bed is clay. So, we haven't had an artist take advantage of that yet. We've had them kind of sculpt into the wall, but not take and process the clay, which I think would be amazing. I'd love for someone to be able to do that because it's a really neat. One artist told me it was pretty pure. I don't know anything about clay. I'm an encaustic artist, but we did have an artist say that it was a pretty pure clay. So, yeah.
I've done that on the Oregon coast. I've gotten it all off the walls there.
So I think it'd be great if someone used that, because that's the other thing too, is we let people forage from the land and use, ethical foraging of course, but use items on the land in their work if they want. It's really kind of interesting. So when people come here, I make it a point to like give them permission to rest and to not have to be productive. Like just, people come in their minds, they have all these things they want to do. I'm just like, just relax a bit, read outside, enjoy yourself. And once you give people that permission, that really actually opens up, cracks something in them, and they start experimenting and are more productive than ever because they don't have that pressure of like the expectations. So I love that when people experiment and just play, and we have like different areas on the property. We have a tree house, we have a nature library. I'm working on putting up a book shed, so we have a pretty big library the on-site artists can access, and we're having it all put in like a little book shed. We have a woven willow den, a dye garden, outdoor kitchen, outdoor shower, all different kind of areas on the property. We try to make the different areas where people can just like, I kind of like curated little sections for people to spend time.
in a little while, we'll go outside and maybe you can point out, like, you know, oh, the woven willow thing is over there, and,
Yeah.
and the dye garden's over here, and orient us a little bit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
After we do some more. Dee Dee just showed up. I want to go around it and do introductions again. Dee Dee, Leslie, Jessica, Mary, Shannon, Terry, Sherry, Andy, another Andy, Jan, Shelley, and myself. So we all know each other.
Amazing
Yeah.
memory for names.
Yeah, well, it's names are important. We identify with our names enormously, and yeah, here I'm getting all presidential on you. It's like I really appreciate each one of you. The more I get to know you, it's like, wow. Talk about Verdancy Project. There's like a world within.
Absolutely.
Each one of us, and it's like the world. To, you know, my philosophy, the world is like calling out to us all the time, you know, to be and become and be and become and get out of our funky little boxes. So yeah, your descriptions really resonate with me.
And we try to create a community. We also have like an alumni network where we connect the artists, because a lot of them have overlapping interests. So we have like a Google Doc with everybody shares their info, and like we've had, if I know a certain artist is interested in this, I can connect them with an artist who might have been here before, and they could share information and resources as well. So it's a really, it has been really like, I kind of love also the, you know, the analogy of like the mycelium, like everyone is connected in different ways, and to this land and to each other. So it's really, the 3 years that we've been doing this, it's just grown into something that I couldn't even have imagined. You know, we've been wanting to do a residency for a long time. We moved to this property. We were looking for property all over, up into Washington, down as far as Oregon City, you know, trying to find some property to have this space. And when we found this space, we knew this was the right one. And then it just kind of, it's been bringing in all the right people and all the wonderful people who are really connected to creativity and nature and each other. So community, absolutely. That's huge for me, especially being kind of out farther from Portland. You know, it's like nice to like gather people here as well and create this community.
And you got this 3 years ago?
Yeah.
So during COVID?
Yeah.
Can you talk about what some of the community events were? Shelley, you and I witnessed the installation
Yeah.
artwork. That was about a month ago.
Yeah.
And there was dance and music and lots of things going on. Can you describe some of the other gatherings, workshops,
Yes.
and the like?
So we're always open as well. So if anyone has ideas, and we offer the space for people to teach. So there's different models where people could just, like, they want to come and rent out the space from me, or if they want me to facilitate, you know, market a workshop. So we've had different workshops, different photo-based workshops, paper making, botanical ink. So we do workshops. And we also do like community art events, like an art and seed swaps, where artists are gardeners who like to make art. Like they make individual seed packets, original art, and then put seeds in them, and then they send them to me, and I share them with, you know, we swap seeds. We just did a land art exhibition that Andy was talking about. It was, we had about 30 artists and performers. We brought them out here in February, so they had about 7 months to create their pieces. They had to be 85% natural materials, and with the theme of terra incognita, which is territory unknown, and that essence of like territory unknown. And none of these artists were land artists before. They were all just different types of artists that we felt their work could translate really well. And so it was really wonderful seeing them working with the land. You can't force the land to do anything. So most of them had to actually end up pivoting a little bit, changing, growing, and that was really wonderful to see. And we had that was the last 2 weekends in August, and we had over 500 people out. That was our biggest event that we've ever done, and it was a lot of work. It was extraordinary amount of work, but we also had performers. We had this overlay of different performers. We had dancers, musicians, movement artists, And we kind of had them throughout the land. We didn't advertise those as much because we really wanted this experience for people to be like this sense of discovery, stumble upon these things as they're walking around. Curiosity is really big for us, and so we had those dancers and musicians and stuff coming out as well. So we're always open to different types of things too. That's the thing, is we're independent, family run. I'm not a nonprofit. I'm not sponsored by anything. I try to keep costs as low as possible, just so we can grow and pivot and adapt or do different things as opportunities come up. So
I'll just want to say my experience of that installation, multimedia experience, it really went well.
yes,
It was very well composed. There was a lot of variety to see. The spontaneous presence of the dancers, perfect. It was a great template. I think if you could repeat that every once in a while, that formula, or whatever it was that allowed you to create that, if you could repeat that, boy, I'll be back every time, because it was great.
thank you. And if we do, you can't ask me now because it's still too soon.
Right, sure.
But I think it'd be kind of like every other year, biannually, just because I also want to keep it special. I don't want it. One of the things is we don't want a big. It was wonderful. We sold out because we had a limited number of tickets, as you can see, because parking is kind of weird here. That was never the goal, though. The goal was really, it was actually for the artists even more than the public. We wanted to give artists an opportunity to really push themselves and have a great experience. So, yeah, if we do it again, I think in 2 years, just to keep it special, just to keep it something where it's not a big commercial endeavor,
Let's stay in touch, because I know a bunch of sculptors.
Right, yes, yeah.
And a lot of people who haven't done on-site sculpture.
Yeah.
And so this is obviously the place to go.
Yeah.
Yes,
and I would love that too. That was the thing is, because this is the first time we ever did it, it was more of like an invitational. We kind of picked people, we didn't necessarily know them, but we knew their work. I had a small committee of a few other people helping me organize this. So in the future, I think it'd be more something where we could do like a call for art, maybe an invitational with a core group, and then a call for other. Now that we've done it, and see what's possible. Like we had someone out here with the backhoe, digging into the ground, doing stuff. So we're pretty open to like the size and the, we just didn't want people to like cut down trees, use bad chemical, but we're pretty open to different forms of expression and size and placements. So. And several of the pieces are still here. Not all of them are, but there are still a good number of pieces that are going to be remaining on site.
Can you name some of them right now?
Yes. So Kendra has this cairn. It's like a Celtic northeast southwest. You could kind of lay it in. It has the rocks.
Yeah, another one.
We have a lot of the faces on the trees. Those are obviously staying. We have the woven willow tin. Back by the creek, we kind of have this tunnel. The contents has been taken out of it, but the tunnel is still there, all made out of cedar. We have a large, I'm not sure what's going to happen with it, but a wool installation. Things are growing through the wool.
Well, let's go out there in a little while, but question and answer. Do everybody? What do you want to know from Shannon? What is the Verdancy Project tickled in?
What is this room that we're in?
Oh, this is my art studio.
This is your studio?
Yeah, so I'm an artist. I'm an encaustic artist. There's one of my pieces there. I have, they're kind of all wrapped up. So I'm an encaustic artist. So this is my space, and then next door is the resident space in the bathroom. So yeah, oh my gosh, it's like a dream studio. I've never had a studio like this before, but when we moved in, there was no drywall, there was no ceiling. It was, they used it to like raise rabbits. It was so scary. But it was kind of like a blank slate, so it's been awesome to have this opportunity.
It does not smell like rabbit.
Thank you, good.
So well done. Yeah.
I hope not.
Wow.
Do you have any plans to build any other structures? Do you have any kind of dream structures that you're wanting to put up?
Yes and no. Unfortunately, there's a lot of building code problems here. I can't build a lot here. If anything, it has to be up on this. I can't be down because there's environmental overlays with the creek and everything. I had wanted to do like another bigger studio and living space back there, but I've just been having some challenges with the permit people.
Yeah.
So that's why we have a glamping tent and eventually maybe even something bigger. The dream was to have like these little kind of caravans around, or these tiny houses, a few of them. But technically, I'm not allowed to have that.
Even if they're on wheels?
Even if they're on wheels. Like I could probably park a RV, but also aesthetics is something that's important to me. So you know, so yeah, eventually we're gonna be putting out there a 120 square foot like book shed. So it's like a little library people could go in. But and I really would love like to build like a geodesic dome and have that on the property. So it's always there. I have millions of ideas.
TP.
Yeah, TP. Yeah, there's several. You know, it's like time and money. Those are the challenges. So, but it's changed a lot since when we first moved in. It was pretty abused, and we're doing what we can to rehab the property and rewild it and clean it.
Well, let's go check it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should we go out this door?
Yeah, sure. So as you can see, this is kind of the middle front of the property, and so when we have people come out, we have this area back here.
Should I continue? Yeah. Okay. This is going to be a huge fun.
This is our rock box. So it's inspired by the rice museum, so people could take rocks, leave rocks. There's rocks, crystals, fossils, anything in there.
You should have told us to bring rocks.
I know. I could have brought rocks. Yeah, feel free to grab a rock. They're for people. We always throw like extras. We are like to rock hound and. So this is kind of going to be where the book shed is going to be that I was talking about. You kind of peek in there a little bit. There's our artist in resident currently. We have some chickens.
Nice.
Outdoor kitchen, outdoor shower area. And then this is our dye garden. So all the plants in there can be used to make dyes and inks. And they all could be used dried as well as fresh. So that's one of the things that I wanted to be able to harvest and dry them and that they could still be used. So that was fun. That was new for this year. It was definitely a labor of love. And then we'll actually come down over here.
Is this space going to be something here?
That's going to be the book shed.
Ah, that's the book shed. Okay.
And we're trying to kind of keep some of this clear because this is great parking. We can get about 12 cars in here. And if we keep doing events and classes, it's nice to, as you kind of notice, people go by really quickly on the street.
Yeah.
And it's kind of scary out there, so.
Yeah.
So we'll come on down here. So last year, this whole fence to about here, and about 7 feet high, was all blackberry.
Oh.
And we worked with our neighbor, and we had mechanically removed.
Yeah.
So we're still kind of fighting them, but it's a lot easier now.
Yeah.
This is kind of our main field area. And these are all rocks from the creek. Move down back over here. I'll kind of go. Everybody's got good shoes.
Okay. prepare. PNW. That's right. Rain and wet.
Well, this is the back of the tent. And it definitely looks a lot different in the winter. All this is gone. It's not as lush. Oh yes, this is a nettle nest. So these are all stinging nettles around it. So this nest was all made out of stinging nettles. And this is
When they were green,
yeah,
and they turned that color.
yeah. I think
Sorry. Oh, no,
just
you're
the
good.
rain has done this. So yeah, it's a woven nettle nest with vintage lace inside. So it's kind of meant to be a little bit scary. It's like that juxtaposition between like nesting and like because the nettles will sting.
Do the nettles naturally turn
Baba
black, or did
Yaga's
they
nest
dye
with
that?
No, that just has
baby
happened.
lace or something in
So I
it.
think the rain's something.
No, they don't sting you. In
Just
that
the,
form.
yeah, just the leaves do, right?
But I imagine.
So this is one of this, another installation, and there was a bunch of things inside of this. But it's kind of a fun, like little. I'll probably put a couple of little logs for you to sit in. If you don't have to go through it, you can go around it. It's a little bit.
Oh, I'm going through it.
Yeah, exactly. So this is all done with cedar. It was collected from the property.
Wow.
Certainly smells good inside there.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I could sit in here and just breathe.
Yes. And then we'll go down this way, actually. So this is our key tree.
Oh, the key
Back of the
tree.
property.
With a
So
K.
you see all the keys.
Oh.
There's dozens of keys on there.
Oh, here's the water. When I was here, it was dry.
This just happened the last few days.
Oh, with all the rain.
It's never gotten this dry before. The whole time we've been here, as it completely dried up.
Oh,
So it's come winter, like winter, it'll be up to where we are.
Mm-hmm.
It goes up and over.
Oh, wow, great.
But it's so much nicer with the water.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful.
And so we have our properties both sides, so up to the ridge there, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was so much material.
Because I wanted it, because it's going to get washed away. We wanted to leave it, and I'm like, it's going to get.
Wow.
I know you'll see it as we come up. I went and I filled like a bag with it, and you can't even tell because there was so much.
I was amazed.
Yeah, me too. So you can kind of see this is the tent. Since we have someone staying there, we can't look in it, but it's pretty big. It has a full-size bed in there, rugs. We try to make it as comfortable as possible. It stays warm. We have a little like power charging station and stuff. So lanterns.
Very cute.
And then this is a kind of a workspace, nature library.
Wow.
It's kind of dark right now, but. Everything in here is nature. So, and it's for people, the residents or other people, just to kind of see all the different curiosities. Some of them people can use for their own work.
Wow.
It does get pretty light in here because the sun comes through. So it's just a kind of another. We're going to be adding some more shelves and things in here, but yeah, it's just all different seed pods and
Are these from around here?
No. These big ones are from Australia. These are from kind of more Arizona. These are the devil's claws.
Wow.
So a lot of it's, some of it's from here, but a lot of it's just nature from anywhere. So nests and feathers and shells and skulls, and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, both of there's so there's two I made. So this was my installation for the land art show, and I'm keeping it up. So I made some moss chairs.
Oh, wow.
I got for free, like on Facebook Marketplace, because it had a cushion. So I kind of just cut it up and filled it with dirt, and then put the moss and the plants in there.
That's really
Water it
cool.
every once in a while. And
That's really cool. Oh, that's great.
so here's one installation that's actually going to be removed, just because it's challenging the maintenance of it.
Trippy.
This is the creek. So
Oh.
she mapped the creek with special software. She walked the creek like 10 times back and forth mapping it. And this is the shape of the creek. That's amazing. And then this point here is this point.
Ah.
So you can see like it's interesting because I never thought the creek was so but you can't you see it, you know.
Oh, they did an aerial view of it?
Yeah. Exactly.
Cool.
Yep.
Very cool.
But there's like probably 1,000 stumps in here. She just cut them all, but you know, and this is where they use the backhoe to like dig out, put the stumps in,
Oh, wow.
and then filled with sand just to kind of keep it. So what I'm going to probably do is after she removes it, I want to plant something that I can still mow over, but it's like a different shade of green or something.
Or like clover or something that pops up with some flowers now and
Something
then.
where like you can still see the shape.
Yeah. Cool.
And then we have another bee tree over there. So by the studio we have a log hive, it's called, and it's like it's a natural habitat for bees. And there's two. There's the little piece with the hole in it, that's where the beehive is, but next to it is a tree that's been cut in half so you can see what it looks like inside of the bee trees.
Oh, neat.
Oh.
So, and then you can kind of tell here, an artist made a river with obsidian. So there's orange and black, and you can keep closing. Feel free to go down there. You could go down there if you want. And it's all obsidian, just tons and tons of obsidian.
So like orange obsidian in the center and then black on the edges.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. And this used to be something before you bought the property.
Now it's our observation store.
Observation deck.
So the tree that's cut in half that's a beeswax?
Yes, that's honeycomb and stuff, yeah. It had bees in it that had died out. Yeah, and so...
How nice to have the education.
Exactly, yeah, you can see. Because that's how honeybees are in nature. That's like where they live is in trees, naturally. Foxes aren't their natural habitat, so...
And just a caveat here, Paul Stamets, who is the mycologist who runs Fungi Perfecti, my son's a mycologist as well, but one of the things that he invented just a few years ago is a honeybee nectar feeder.
Oh.
And he can't keep them in stock. Everybody in the world wants to save bees, of course, and what he did is he ended up using the immune qualities of certain mushrooms and put them in a nectar that the bees are attracted to. And so he also made it so the predators of the yellow jacket and hornets and stuff won't go into it, because he made it a little maze.
Oh.
So the bees know how to do the maze, and the other, so they don't.
fantastic.
Yeah, and if you go on YouTube and look up Paul Stamets Bee Nectar Feeder, and he
Okay.
does a TED Talk about it.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
everybody needs to have one of these in their backyard. It's amazing. He's proven it over 5 years use that it has decreased colony collapse disorder, as well as increased their immune system so they're not so susceptible to the mite disease.
The varroa, yeah, that's the varroa mites, yeah.
Mushrooms are giving them more immunity.
That's right, just like they do
Oh,
us.
interesting.
Come this way, incineration would be really good for the planet. Yeah. Students to go to where Monsanto has polluted through their fertilizers and toxins in Central America and South America, and they go there and
Because it was so overgrown.
they are changing the world. If people would just take note a little bit more.
So we're coming up to the tree house.
Oh my goodness.
You can feel free to go inside of it. So when we moved in here, it was just a platform. It didn't have any walls. It was a platform with the stairs and the deck. So we put in the walls and the windows and the door. Yeah, feel free. Just be very careful. It gets a little slippery on the deck if anyone wants to come up here and
I'd
look.
love to see it.
And underneath here is another land art installation, just kind of enclosing the bottom of the treehouse. So this is the very slippery part here, but it's really nice to kind of look up over the creek.
Gorgeous. I'd want to stay overnight here.
We have had residents
Have
living
you?
here. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Look at the trees are right in here.
Yeah, please
Oh
come
my
on in.
goodness.
That one's not.
It's like every kid's dream, right?
So we have a marble wall. So when the sun sets over there and it shines the light in and all the marbles light up.
So
Wow.
you drilled holes and put marbles in.
I did.
Jeez.
And so we just used like kind of old cedar fencing board because it was inexpensive and it's not going to rot or anything. And yeah, we have residents who sleep in here, take naps, or write. We have writers like it in here a lot because. So the other thing is we're not just for visual artists. Writers, dancers, actors. Again, as long as they have that connection to ecology and nature, we're open to all different mediums. And then yeah, it's just kind of neat to like look over and see the creek.
Gorgeous.
And it's a really nice place in the morning to have a coffee out there or in the evening because the sun sets over there.
The sun sets that way?
Yeah.
Oh, so when the sunset is coming through your marbles.
Exactly.
That's pretty neat.
Interesting idea.
Marble missing.
So yeah, just be careful coming on down.
You left your marbles house. Just the one. Only one.
And then here's just kind of another neat area. I'm just trying to curate just these kind of sweet spots where people can spend time. So this artist created these little portals, these round portals to kind of look out of everywhere.
It's pretty big actually.
So beautiful, isn't it?
Are you guys?
Yes.
We lost signal, so the
Oh.
meeting. When we
Okay.
come out of that
Okay.
It is just naked everywhere. But it comes back in May. go to the creek, so I want to show you more things before it gets too dark.
Yeah, true.
We do have lots of little paths. They all go to the creek.
Did you plant this, it looks like kind of moss or just grass?
No, it's moss, but it's here.
Decided to grow.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
a really nice little path.
Isn't
Yeah.
it neat?
Yeah, it's really neat.
We don't. The only thing I planted is up by the studio. Just kind of let this. So, what was really cool actually. So, about 7 years ago, the Multnomah Soil and Water District, they came out and planted over 100 native trees and shrubs because of the creek. So they're trying to cool the creek down. The creek is too hot for fish, the water. So the riparian area they want to have shaded. So they came out for free with the other property owners and did that. And so when we moved in, I found a folder about it and I contacted them and they came out here and talked to me, gave me a list of everything they planted. And they are really helpful. Like they're helpful in terms of when we wanted to remove a lot of the blackberry. You'll still see, we still have plenty of blackberry.
Oh yeah. You can never get rid of that stuff.
No, and some of it's fine.
I
you
know. Yeah.
But just not taking over. And in fact, my main enemy is the morning glory. That bindweed, because that's worse than the blackberry.
Oh, is it?
So here's another installation. This is the one I kind of mentioned. This is the wool one.
Well, probably in the spring the birds will come and steal wool for their nest.
That's what I was thinking too.
Oh.
So, it's a little bit. There was like a arch that kind of fell down. So he kind of. I'm trying to think of another. I might do something else with this eventually, depending on what happens with the wool. I'm kind of curious to see how it grows, but it's kind of neat. Our current resident, she's a weaver and she uses a lot of wool, and she's studying how wool takes actually a really long time to break down in nature. Because it's kind of more of a protein fibers, and so she says this will not go away for years and years and years.
Oh my.
So, but yeah, the artist came and he kind of dug out this pit and built up the walls, and he had 3 different colors of wool that he laid down. It was really pretty when it was fresh and new. It smelled really bad, but it was beautiful. Yeah, it was just fresh shorn wool. So it kind of had like a petting zoo smell over here.
I think the birds are going to be very happy with
That's what I
that
was thinking, like any
nesting
kind
material.
of creature, yeah.
Nesting material.
And then we
for
really
sure.
like this big tree, so this cut here where they
started cutting it.
yeah, well, I think no, it's where they put your footholds.
Oh right, sure.
And then that again leads to the creek. So everything kind of leads to the water here.
Neat. So, this is an artist in residence?
No, this was one of the installations for the land art show. If artists in residence want to do stuff and leave it, they're welcome to. But this was part of the land art. So we had
And did they have a mission statement about why they did this or what they were doing with whatever
They were just creatively
an
having fun.
Yeah, exactly.
experiential thing?
Yeah.
Because she has a thing
That's
about
just
wool.
What can I do with it?
I guess.
I know
Yeah.
sheep farmers. What am I going to do? I got to use that somehow.
I don't know. Maybe it was beautiful when it was
Yeah, she said when it was first put in, it was gorgeous.
going back to a primitive state.
Yeah.
So we passed something that had a lot of camo over it.
Oh yeah, that
There's
is out there.
Squarish thing with a lot of camo.
Yes.
Trampoline.
Was that what it was?
I hate the way that thing looks. I have a 10-year-old daughter,
And she needs it.
and she needs it, but it just was so bright yellow and blue, and it just didn't blend in.
go.
It looks great now.
Well, now it's an art installation.
Yeah.
As you can see, here's one of the eyes.
Oh, that's pretty
Oh,
awesome.
that's cool.
I love that.
So that's all done with earth pigments, natural earth pigments.
Wow.
And then this kind of supposed to be the pupils if you stand back, but that's a orb of devil's claws.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
So
then if you come
you just
down
line
here,
that up with the pupils?
Yes.
and if you
Yeah.
stand right
guess.
here on
Ooh.
this rock,
Oh, I see.
so stand here and look there.
Oh, wow. I love that.
What did you say? I missed it. Stand here and look
And then
that
look
way.
that way.
Okay.
So you can see, that is so cool. That's really neat. The eyes. Yeah. And the nose.
Oh, there's a nose and a mouth. You're right.
And we also have, for our residents, we have a pass for Oslo, so they can go there whenever they like.
Mhm.
Yeah, Eric, I think I saw a picture of it looked like one tree. She's a sculptor. She does a lot of photo. I took her that she makes masks. But she painted that one?
Oh, cool.
So you can feel free to go inside of there. It's all willow, and the white is willow that has had the bark stripped off of it. And then she left some of the willow leaves on there as well. So yeah, feel free to go in and check it out. It smells, the willow has a nice smell to it as well.
This is a heck of a project.
Yeah.
Putting this together.
Like a funny little house.
Uh-huh.
And I think, is that the exit? Oh, I think it is.
No, it's just a dead
It's
end.
just a little dead end?
Yeah.
Oh, how funny.
The point of a plane.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're kind of hoping. We might actually plant some live willow around it to weave it in and make it even stronger.
Yeah, that's cool.
So this is the biggest thing she's ever done. She's only ever done like small sculptures and wall hangings, you know, maybe like 24 by 24. And so this is, you know, she pushed herself and her practice just to create it. She was out here for 6 months doing this, you know, she'd come out for a few, and the thing is, it's like, so the willow bundles were probably like 12 feet tall. So she'd strap them to the top of her car. Then she lives in St. John's, and she'd drive here and work for a few hours weaving. And she did the perimeter first when the ground was soft. She drove it all in, and then started closing it up.
Where did she find all the willow boughs?
I have no idea, but she's a weaver, so she has lots of spots, secret spots.
Grows a lot near creek beds.
Yeah.
One of the most favorite places.
Well, and we have 2 different kind of willows, but not this willow, because this is like I said, they were like 12 feet tall for her bundles. So her, that is our shed. It's a bunch of yard materials in there, but we wanted to make it look nice, so.
It's the little, where the gnomes live.
Yeah, exactly. So it was when we moved. It was here when we moved in. It was like it's a blue tough shed. So my daughter and I painted it all up and wanted to make it look like a little witchy cottage.
Yeah, I really like these little corner things.
Yeah.
Those are great.
But yeah, it just stores all our yard stuff. And we're almost done. This is kind of where we hang out. We had just like a autumn equinox celebration the other day, and we have fire pits out here and stuff. And
You need a mushroom festival out here.
I know. We do get a lot of them now that the rain's coming. We get we have a couple trees that like have lots of oyster mushrooms growing on them, and inky caps and other.
Cordyceps, reishi.
I don't know if we have any reishi. It'd be interesting. I'd like inoculate some of the fallen trees. So we have a little. This is a man-made pond. We have some of the goldfish and stuff. Normally we'd go over the bridge, but it's super slippery. Like multiple people have fallen, so I'm not gonna do that to
Can I
you.
interrupt you for a moment? We have one person from Ashland
Okay.
watching us right now.
Hello.
So we're all saying hello to you, Ann Baxter. Hello. We connected. Yeah. Yeah, her and I know Sue Class was trying to log on, but Ann in Ashland is our stalwart. So
Yeah, we're almost done with the tour. We have one more tree to see there.
There you go. We were checking. Ann and I were just checking that out. So yeah, go for it.
And then yeah, that's just a trampoline. Hidden very well.
It's got great camouflage. Ooh.
I love the trees.
Isn't that cool?
Gibson did.
Wow.
And they had, what's really cool is they haven't left. She did these in June or in July, and they haven't really faded or anything. So
Pretty awesome. That's cool.
she uses like powdered natural earth pigments and just brushes, kind of like stencil brushes and stuff, and like a water, like a spray bottle. Just finds different trees that.
That she thinks would look good on.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah,
neat.
I love them.
It's amazing.
These are some of my favorite.
There's so much dimension from this angle. It feels like the nose is really just
Right? Isn't that?
Yeah.
So she actually normally sculpts these out of clay. So she's and so when she was trying to figure out what she wanted to do, part of this, like her faces are her thing. So she at first was going to try to use the creek clay, but it kept cracking on her. So she was trying to find different ways to have the same kind of subject matter, but in a different medium. And then she did some experimenting. She did the 3 tree first, the 3 different pieces, and then just exploded. From there, it was like, oh, that's perfect.
I think art to have in your yard.
I think with clay sometimes you want it to like get a little moldy so that it gets some more plastic and it won't be so crackly. So she could try collecting it, you know, making sure it's a good consistency, putting it in a plastic bag and letting it mold up in there.
Oh.
And then it might be a little less crackly.
Yeah. So down by the treehouse where we were, it's kind of hard to see because there's so many plants, but that part of the creek bed is like the clay wall. So there's that wall. It's like just like a whole wall, and it goes down the whole creek. Is all clay.
Okay.
And some people, have sculpted into it. At one point, someone was going to try to cover the treehouse in clay. That didn't work. So yeah, we'll kind of continue up this way.
Oh, those are cool.
Those are really beautiful.
Look at that.
So these are all
Beautiful.
Insects that are on the property. We have bats in the evenings, honeybee, mason bee, bumblebee, and our Oregon State swallowtail.
Nice.
Towards the end of its life, but
Beautiful. So do you have problems with rabbits and deer?
we do not have deer here, which is strange, but I think because we have Oxbow so close and they're a lot safer there, we have a lot of farms and you see the cars, so we do have rabbits. Haven't been a problem really.
Really? For your plants, huh?
Yeah, no. Rabbits, raccoons, chipmunks, squirrels, bats. Oh, lots of gophers, or no, not gophers, the other one. Moles.
Moles, yeah.
Oh. Those are the problem, not the rabbits. You get that, but so yeah.
Sorry for laughing.
I'm just learning to live with them. They're part of
They are.
This is their space, not mine. So it just is hard, like mainly out in the lawn area when you just like roll your ankle.
Oh yeah.
So and then we're kind of coming back to where we were.
So this is your guest artist studio, but they don't sleep in there.
No, they sleep in that tent that was down there. Yeah.
Mm.
Or the treehouse.
Or the treehouse, sure.
This is like my sanctuary, so I'm in here so much. That I have to have a little office, meeting area, and a messy area, and roller skating area.
That's nice.
these are cards. If anyone wants a card about the Verdancy Project and about the residency, here's some seeds if anyone wants seeds. These are calendula seeds. And that's me.
We done?
I have a show up right now in a store.